If they do that, they're going to be very, 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 very tough to beat.
Wilson! Oh! And we are tied!
Let's go! Call them by Slamma Jamma.
And I don't ever let them forget where we come from.
Getting those phones out. Report me acting ignorant.
Zion Kris got his way through, and he may go! Kris is in! Houston leads out of nowhere! Seventh heaven for Houston. The Cougars advance to their seventh Final Four. Go Cougs! Let's go! It's no good! The dream remains alive for the Houston Cougars!
Welcome into another edition of Let's Rage Coogs, presented by the Saxenian Family, live from the Fertitta Center, where both Chris and I are located, following Houston's 99-57 victory over University of New Orleans. We're joined by Fluff, McKiver with Elm City Elite. Fluff, how are you doing on this Saturday afternoon?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Another Cougar win. You know, I can't complain.
Chris, what about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm trying to join you in enjoying some of the star pizza provided by Mike and the crew.
Yes, sir. Big shout out to Mike and Jennifer Pittman, who were very, very gracious and that helped feed us for the first time this season. That both Chris and I are at the Fertitta Center for a game, so got to celebrate the occasion.
And that's what we're doing. So thanks again to Mike for doing this for us. Good win for the Cougs. Fluff, it was another BTA.
Another BTA.
4 guys scored at least 15 points each. A lot of people played. A lot of people scored. It was good to see Chase McCarty knock down some threes. Now, Andy, correct me if I'm wrong. During the post-game press conference, didn't Coach Sampson say that he believes Chase is the best three-point shooter on the team?
Yep.
He hadn't shown it yet?
Correct. He said that.
Okay. He said he thought highly of Chase as a three-point shooter.
Yep. Well,
I did not know he thought he was the best three-point shooter on the team. I wonder what Emmanuel thinks about that. But anyway, it was good to see Chase knock down some threes. Got 6 rebounds as well. It was a win that everybody expected. Well, I mean, New Orleans beat TCU. New Orleans had some good non-conference wins.
Yeah.
But the Cougs have said, not today.
They went on that run in the first half where scored 15 in a row. They scored 15 in a row, and that put the game away. In many ways, it seemed like they kind of crushed New Orleans' spirits, especially in that first half. I think the total run was 21-1 at one point, and they expanded and really never looked back from there. There were stretches where Houston's defense, they were just suffocating on defense, forcing turnover after turnover, and Houston was very, very efficient in this game. They only had 6 turnovers overall. In the second half, they became really efficient scoring wise. I think they shot over 75% from the field in that second half. 71% on 3, 72% from the field in just the second half. And they only turned the ball over. At halftime, they only had 2 turnovers. They only turned the ball over 4 times in the second half for a total of 6 turnovers. So, I mean, they checked all the boxes. Kingston Flemings played well. Chris Sanak played well. Mercy Miller played well. Chase McCarty, like you said, Chris, started knocking down shots, and he played well. Also had 6 rebounds to go along with it. And everything was perfect about this game for Houston except the fouls in the second half. Called way too many fouls. Even head coach Kelvin Sampson mentioned the foul calls in his post-game presser.
That I like what you said, Andy, about the 6 turnovers. That means that passes are crisp. That means that, drives to the basket. That means everything is precise as far as what they're trying to do with the basketball. That's what the symbolization of those 6 turnovers look like. And that's promising, because a lot of times you could play against a lesser team, and then now you get a little silly, you get a little goofy with the ball. You know what I mean? So to still have the mindset to still make the right passes and precise passes and great decisions, even though you're up by a lot of points during those segments, is big time mentally for our team moving forward. Not caring about what level of competition we're playing against. It's seeming like that might be our identity to stay focused, even if we're successful or struggling.
That's something Kelvin Sampson mentioned in his postgame presser too. Fluff. He said, "We don't overlook any opponents here. We always focus on the next game," and that's exactly what they did tonight.
Yeah,
And
and
23 assists on 32 buckets.
Yeah,
So 23 assists compared to just 6 turnovers. I mean, that's 4-1. Fluff, as both y'all coaches, y'all will take that all day.
we take that all day. We'll
Yeah.
take that all day. Another thing is, I love the 10 assists by Ooze. You know, I think he's starting to understand that it might be leadership over points. Not saying we don't need him to score, but his leadership and trusting the other guys on the floor is going to be huge down the stretch as far as how far we go from him being a leader and being at the top of his game at all times.
And they ran a few different sets, ran a few different plays for Chris Sinak
Zanak.
to get him going as well. So Coach Sampson said that they did, ran a few different things to get things on video, film, tape, whatever y'all use nowadays for future opponents as well. The versatility offensively for this team, I like the potential on offense, and the defense is, converting turnovers into points. So that's another positive, and that's one thing. Coach Dayon, he's with his team right now, so that's why we're not a foursome yet. But the Cougs had scored 29 points off turnovers, 29
That's big
points
time.
off 21 turnovers. So that's big time as well. I know some of our viewers, followers, supporters, bring up bench points. Well, the Cougs had 48 bench points today as well. So 48 of the 99 points came from the bench. So that's another positive too.
And it's hard. It's not hard to judge, but Kingston Fleming, it seems like good or bad, he's efficient, man, and he doesn't force things, and that's very promising. From the last 2 or 3 games, not like really, having good games, but he's had some explosive games this year. I don't think that's his focus. I think winning is his focus. So to go 5 for 9 again today and not be like, I'm gonna take crazy shots to get, my thing going is big time too.
We have looks like we lost Fluff there for a second. We have post game availability from head coach Kelvin Sampson. Let's see if we can hear it. Let me add it to the scene here. Expand it for a second. Let's hear what head coach Kelvin Sampson had to say following Houston's 99-57 victory over New Orleans. Let me see here.
Nothing new. It's never going to stop. Not going to fix it. Not going to stop it. Unless they do what they did tonight. We didn't change our offense. The reason why we don't score as many points tonight is the reason we scored a lot of points tonight. Don't overcomplicate a simple game. The scoreboard keeps track of points. So our offense tonight was called open. And you know why it worked? Because the ball went in. Because tonight was called open. If it had not, we might have scored 80 or 75. I mean, we could have scored 80 points tonight, and had we scored it, it would have been the reason why we scored 99. So let's don't overcomplicate this. You guys getting this? Like, what's wrong with the offense? Don't ask that question. Nothing. What's wrong with the shooting? Right, Chase? Is that right, Mercy? I mean, our offense doesn't change. We didn't run a different offense tonight and score more points. It's a game of mind over matter. But sometimes if you don't have a mind, it don't matter.
Coach, can you also talk about Ramon Walker's impact today?
Yeah, the one air ball he shot, I asked him, was he trying to be Kobe? With that shot, I said, slow down, son. Slow down. Ramon, I would say Ramon, Isaiah, Chase, and Mercy, those four guys are a luxury in some ways because all four of them are really good players, and all four of them have accepted their role of coming off the bench. Like, they're good offensive players. Every bit as good of offensive players as some of the starters. But don't overlook this thing, what Emmanuel did tonight. Most freshmen, when they have big nights, never follow it up with another good night. Hardly ever is that the case. Because they tried to do what they didn't do. They go look for it. When it happened the first time, it was just happened. Very organic. And all of a sudden they have it, say, man, I'm gonna go get another this or another that. And that's not the way it works. Emmanuel, shots came to him the other night, he took them. Tonight they didn't come, and guess what he did? He passed it. He moved it, and somebody else made the shot that possession. You know, if a guy is making shots, and all of a sudden he starts passing, that means somebody else is probably going to make a shot. So it doesn't matter who's making the shots. You say, well, this guy had 30, if he hadn't had 30, would have struggled. That's not true. If he hadn't had 30, somebody else might make the shot. You know?
So once again, that was Houston Cougars head coach Kelvin Sampson. Asked him about Ramon Walker, and he talked about everybody on the offense, including he really focused on Emmanuel Sharp there for a second, but great comments from coach, and really talking about just mentality, right? He didn't, although they ran a few different sets like you mentioned earlier in the presser, Kris and Fluff. Really, it was just they were really efficient, especially in that second half, shooting over 70% from the field. That's why their offense looked really good, and they put up 99 points tonight.
The Cougs made their first 11 shots in second half. So their offense was on point.
I mean, like he said about the 80 points. I mean, like I think what he was trying to say is even if they only would have only had 80 points tonight, it's a great offensive night. You know, and there's nothing wrong with the offense. There's nothing. Sometimes you can overcomplicate things. You know, we've all seen that in basketball in any sport. Like, let's run this. I know we said we ran some things for Kris, but you know, I agree with Coach. Like, let's just keep rolling.
Dayon hopes to join us momentarily, so find out how his team did today in their competition.
Yeah, of course. We
But
took a loss today, middle school.
mm,
We took a loss today. We lost by 4 points today. We're the defending champs. So it's like, you know, like we said about the Cougs, even if we lose one or two, we still be fine. What's up, Coach D?
Kris, can you change the?
yep, I got to bring everybody in. Hold on, hold on, Dayon.
I got Fluff. You can bring him down, Kris.
I had Fluff.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah, I got Fluff. There we go. Can't hear Dayon though. Can y'all hear Dayon?
No,
no, I can't. Can you see Fluff? I can't see Fluff on my screen.
you can't see me?
No, Kris, can you?
I see him. Yep. Did you take him off?
No, I didn't. He comes across as offline on my end. I think that's what it is on the official one too.
No.
Let me see.
Yep. All right.
Hold
Because
up. Let me do this real quick.
he's a speaker now.
There we
See
go.
him?
Now I see him.
Yeah. Coach Dayon.
We still can't hear down. Might be the audio technical difficulties. While we wait for Dayon and his audio fluff, I'm curious to get your thoughts on what you see, really from the freshman duo in Flemings and Snack tonight. They both had 15 points each. And I mean, they just look good, efficient. That's the word of the day for today's game: efficient.
Well, I think for them, I think they're comfortable with chasing a national championship. Some freshmen are not that are thinking about the NBA are not comfortable with chasing both, and chasing both is hard if you're, a potential one and done kid or one and done player. So shouts to CNET and Flemings for still having the Cougs at the top of their priority list on a daily basis, as well as potentially being lottery NBA picks. So they're doing a great job. I agree.
And I think that's another example of why they chose the program. Because, I mean, Fluff, it's not a lot of 5-star kids that want to be coached hard. They chose to come here to be coached hard, which is a great
Yeah.
sign going forward.
I mean, how do we put it? I think that, we talk about it sometime, but Coach Calvin Sampson is a former NBA coach. I think he's been so successful at the University of Houston, we don't realize how much NBA experience he has. So I think parents that are really doing their research when Houston is on a board for them and an option for them, they're thinking if their kid has that potential, he will have them ready emotionally and mentally to deal with being an NBA player. And I think that's why Kingston and Chris picked this school, is because at the end of the day, having a cup of coffee in the NBA is not really having a career in the NBA. And I think they're trying to have a career in the NBA, not just a cup of coffee.
Question for all of y'all, audience as well. I think Reed Geddes brought it up last game. Can y'all think how many college programs can y'all think of off the top of your head really utilize the red shirt like Coach Sampson and the Cougs do? Because Chase McCarty, red shirt. Emmanuel Sharp was a red shirt, and Bryce Jackson's redshirting this year. But you see how that redshirt year has helped them in previous Cougs to develop and become better players and consistent players as they are at Houston.
I mean, because I think they look at it like, if even if I'm not playing you a lot, if I can't even, of course I want to be able to use you, but if I can't even think to use you, you know what I mean? Why would I waste my eyes? When a coach comes to the bench and he looks at the bench, he wants to be able to feel like I could put any of these guys in if need be. So if he's looking at the bench and he doesn't feel that way, it's a waste of time for the player and the program.
Correct me if I'm wrong too, Chris. Wasn't Jawan Roberts was a redshirt too?
Oh,
Correct?
most definitely.
So that's definitely that's a great point, and I can't really think of a program that uses the red shirt as much as Houston does.
So yeah, but that was I didn't spend too much time thinking about it during the broadcast on Wednesday, but I was like, yeah, that's a good point. How many other programs, especially top tier programs, utilize the red shirt program as effectively as the Cougs do?
The other thing is too is if you're the player, you also want more time if you're not sure about what your role is going to be that season.
That kind of segues to the next clip that I have about Kelvin Sampson that he said post game today, where he talked about just exactly that, defining roles uh, with his team. But before we get to that clip, I'd like to remind everybody that's joining us for this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, presented by the Saxenian Family. A big shout out to Steve
Can y'all hear
Saxenian
me?
for being the primary. We can hear you now, Dan.
Okay.
Big shout out to Steve Saxenian for being the primary sponsor of not only this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, but each and every single episode for after each and every single men's basketball game. Of course, also a big thank you to Star Pizza, Mike and Jennifer Pittman. Like Chris said earlier in the show, they hooked it up with some Star Pizza today after Houston's 99-57 victory over New Orleans. So big shout out to them with multiple locations throughout the Houston area. Check them out online at starpizza.net and stop by any one of their locations. And even better yet, tell them that you heard about them on Let's Rage Coogs. That being said, give me a second to pull the clip from. Hold up. That is the. Give me a second to pull up the clip from today where he talks about just that.
Just Dan, what your thoughts on the game, man? How much did the game did you get a chance to see, Coach?
I saw all of it except the last like 3 to 4 minutes.
What do you think?
Man, efficiency. Like Andy said, just efficiency, especially coming off the bench with Mercy. I think just the rhythm, the confidence, just how it looked. It looked like they were settling in. And I think that consistency can really lead us to where we want to go. I mean, Kingston kind of returned to form in the sense of kind of playing like his normal self when we seen, but Chris bounced back, had an efficient game. But I really like what I've seen. Isaiah was very aggressive, trying to see if he was still hot from last game. Not really mad at that. Didn't really have a shot falling, but I can see us wilding into form and kind of that chemistry is building is beginning to build and get more and more in sync with each other.
And you still saw the guys diving on the floor for loose balls, going
yeah.
after those 50-50 balls. It's just the offense. This team has more different guys that can score. But you add that to the Cougar defense, this team could really be special.
Let's hear from
mean,
head coach Kelvin Sampson. Give you a second, Fluff. Let's play this video from Kelvin Sampson. Just make it full screen here. And
every time down the floor says it's going to make a coach happy. It's either going to be theirs or mine, or me. Every possession, you know. And sometimes he reminds me of a circus elephant. You know, he just gets off balance. Sometimes just falls on people. Doesn't mean to, you know. He just gets off balance sometimes. But you can tell kids like Sid, who started playing basketball when they were 15, 16 years old. A lot of times people make ignorant statements because they don't know any kind of background or put in any kind of perspective. But you know, Sid started playing when he's 15 years old. He's about 10 years behind just about every kid in college. And I think he's made remarkable progress, but the thing that we're working with him on now is playing with a lower center of gravity, you know, just to help his balance. JoJo does that really well, but JoJo's been playing in America since he's 6, 7 years old. So, but thought our second unit, it's all about attitude. You know, our guys don't sit over there and pout because they're not in, or nobody's asking why this or why that. Our kids don't care about that. That's the great thing about our family here, is that everybody understands their role, because I've defined it for them. It's their job to play the role. There's not going to be any discussion or negotiation about it. 0 interest in people's opinion about it. It's who we are. It's how we do things here. But when you have high character kids, which is all we recruit, you can do it that way. As good a players Mercy is, as good a players Chase is, I'm telling you, they're better kids. They're just better human beings.
so again, that was Houston Cougars head coach Kelvin Sampson. I thought that was a great quote, especially about defining roles and really they don't have to worry about any issues when it comes to people not agreeing with the role. Like Kelvin Sampson doesn't have any interest in hearing that.
I mean, it's one thing I think he probably tells the team or the circle of the parents. before they even get, step on campus. Like, we're gonna do it how I see fit. And I think that that's huge with our team for success. That's why we've been successful because, we're not dealing with things that don't make sense during the season.
Then to add on to that, I think Coach Sam does a good job of allowing the players play to develop their role. Of course, you got your starters who's in certain roles, but at the same time, he still, in my opinion, kind of allows their play, even with the bench players, their play to define their roles. He'll put them in a position to kind of establish their roles, like he said, but then it's up to them to play and kind of either expand their role or even limit their role, depending on how it goes. I got an echo on my end. It didn't start till after we played the video.
Yeah, I think I just muted it. So hopefully that helps.
Yep, it went away.
But it just turned out the lights a little bit here inside the building.
Yeah, they did.
But I mean, Dayon's right, Fluff's right. The players' roles are defined for them. They don't pout, and we hear it every year. Coach recruits high character kids, and I agree with Fluff. As part for the parents as well, and it goes really to what the kids. Coach Sampson's not gonna. He doesn't lie to them. They're sugarcoat it. He's gonna tell you when he's recruiting you. This is what we expect from you. This is what you're gonna work. You're gonna work hard. I'm gonna coach you hard. I'm gonna get on you a lot. And if you can't handle that, then maybe you shouldn't come here. But we're gonna help make you a better player. And if you want to be a better player, want to be developed, come to this program. To the parents too. Some parents don't want to hear that either. Some parents want the easy way out, and they choose different places to go. That works for them. Doesn't work here. So it has worked these 12 years for the program, and they are one of the top teams in the country, and they're getting better. And we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to next Saturday's game for sure. Looking forward to that one, most definitely.
Yes, sir.
Especially after the big win that Arkansas had over Texas Tech earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to that point guard matchup.
For sure.
I'm going with my boy.
Big 12 still the best conference
You know where I'm
in
going.
basketball, though. So, don't worry about that either.
For sure.
Damn, did y'all win, man?
Nah, we lost, unfortunately. We lost. We fought hard, though.
Dang.
I needed to
We
bring
ain't
them to
holding
see
up
that
to the
Cougar
Cougar way because
basketball
we lost today, too. Dang.
Man, and what hurt us is the most, like the things you can't teach. Just playing hard with relentless effort. That'd be the difference.
And understanding why. Even at this level, college level,
Yes.
like Andy said something about or Chris said something about everybody was diving on loose basketball. Understanding that when you diving on that ball, it's not so the coach could go, "Oh, good job." It's because you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And it's understanding that you're playing hard because you're supposed to, not for some type of flowers or some type of validation from anyone, but what's inside you and how much you want to win. You for the team. So I think that that's the hard part to explain to kids on any level, even all the way up to the NBA. So yeah, understanding why you playing that hard,
Mm-hmm.
Coach Yanez, what did you guys think of the game on Wednesday?
Oh, they loved it. They enjoyed it. I think for a lot of them kids, that was the first time they'd ever been to any type of basketball game that's not like a high school basketball game. So it was a good. We were able to take out both the boys team that I coach and then the girls team. So they had a blast. But damn, this is not the weekend for us because we also, we lost last week, or not last week. We lost yesterday, last night. Yeah, we couldn't hit the right side of a barn whenever we shot. God damn. But
that was us today. That's funny, Andy. Like, you went back into the game.
Yeah, for real. For real.
He said, God damn.
The coach came out of Andy right there.
You gotta send me that one, Andy. That was funny.
Yeah, it was a game we should have won. We were up at halftime. give them credit though. It was a really physical battle. We had more steals. We had more forced them to have more turnovers. We just couldn't capitalize on those turnovers, and then they out rebounded us, which is something we got to clean up. So, but
Coach Yanez is talking right now. He's but I guess I need to start finding a team to coach so I can join my brothers in this.
Feeling left out.
uh,
It's fun, Chris.
Yeah, I'm
It
sure
is, man.
it's less stressful than what I'm dealing with at the school. But anyway, that's a whole other topic.
there was a comment. It was Crab talking about this game. JoJo Tugler only one foul, which especially in a game like tonight where the refs were calling a lot of ticky tack stuff. A little bit of impressive, and you can see again the difference when JoJo Tugler's on the floor. Houston's just a much, much, much better defensive team. I mean, they're not bad with him off the floor, but you can see the impact that he has when he's on the floor. And he almost had back-to-back posters. He had one on Wednesday night against Jackson State, and he came really close to having another one today against New Orleans, but he got fouled on it. So really, really good showing for Tugler. And again, you can see the defensive presence that he has.
And I think he only had
I'm sure y'all.
maybe 2 fouls Wednesday. So I know he wasn't like
Yeah,
early foul trouble like he usual. So that's a plus
and he's
going
cleaning
forward.
it up.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm sure you already talked about it, but we might have to get Milos in the mindset of he playing in Vegas, because when he was in Vegas, he was a different guy, and then now returning, shots just not falling. I'm sure you already kind of touched on it. What y'all seeing from Milos today?
I talked about that a little earlier. Was that I think that it's looking like his role is going to be more of facilitator,
Hmm.
leadership down the stretch right now. I don't think that we should put the pressure on him of having a certain amount of points every night. I think we should just let him facilitate and just take things when they're there, not really press for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's that's what it seems like it is. I think last year nobody seen him coming. This year everybody's waiting for him. It's different.
Especially on a night like tonight where he was much more of just a facilitator and very efficient at it. With make sure I get this correctly, he had 10 assists and 0 turnovers, which is just
Yeah, that's
phenomenal.
big time.
Uh, you can go to the just leave it at that one, Chris. Down popping in and out. But kind of touching back on this game. I know I mentioned in the clip, asked about Ramon Walker and Kelvin Sampson, went on a tangent about other players, but Ramon Walker in that first half, he had a pretty good showing. Both him and Mercy Miller in that first half. They came in, they had an impact. Ramon Walker um, stepped into the three, and you know what he brings to the table on the defensive side. Going back to Fluff, what you said about those kind of winning plays, about diving on the floor, you know that's never going to be a question with Ramon Walker. What did y'all see from him and his impact in that first half?
He hit the 3-pointer to end the first half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Ramon's offense seems to be coming around. It's coming along. That's a plus because, as you said, his hustle and effort and toughness and physicality is expected. So if he can add some points to that, that's a benefit to the team. And the bench production, 48-28 bench points.
Yeah, I was just about to
That's a
get that,
plus
especially
as
after a
well.
week ago. A week ago, we had talked about against FSU, right? Houston not getting a lot of production from their bench. Well, tonight they definitely did.
So
And I think, Ramon is, one of those players that he's so happy to have that jersey. So
Hmm.
he's gonna give it 190, 100 million% every time he gets an opportunity to get out there and be a Cougar on the floor. So, you know, that's big time for him. I mean, that's big time for our program and our team.
And I think one thing that we can't undermine is his experience. So regardless, as he's watching the game, and Coach Sampson maybe tell him to get in, look for certain things, it's certain things that he knows to attack, whether it's to be aggressive to score, to get steals, or whatever it may be. So that experience is going to be key, especially in conference. I can see conference play on the road, and his impact helps win us a game on the road. His experience, along with everything he brings, plus like Chris just said, his offense coming around. I can see his role being really, really important in key games down the stretch, especially once we enter conference play.
It's just this team is. I mean, Coach Sampson says it every year. This team is not last year's team. It's a different team. This team is establishing their own identity, and but it looks like this team has more guys who are capable to score. Now, if they
Yeah.
can stack those, game, be consistent game to game, that's a plus. Coach Sampson said in the post game that Emmanuel Sharp has as we have as we've learned, the fluorescent green light to shoot, and Mercy Miller's light is Kelly green. So not yet fluorescent green, but it's Kelly green. So that's a plus for Mercy. So that means I think Coach is trusting him more offensively as well.
Mercy gonna be there down the strength. Mercy is gonna be no disrespect. I hate when we gotta do this. Oh man, I hate when we gotta do this. Mercy is Mercy is a upgrade from Terrence. You know what I'm saying? From last year, maybe getting those seventh, eighth man minutes, ninth man minutes, eighth man, seventh, whatever that area. I think he could really score that ball better than Terrence was able to last year in stretches where we needed something off the bench fast. I think Mercy can do that.
Yeah, agreed. Well said.
Especially on a night like tonight where he was just really, really efficient. Dang, he was perfect from the field. 5 for 5, 1 for 1 on his threes, 4 for 4 from the free throw line.
If
Got a
Mercy
rebound.
really get going, can I take? Is this a group? Are we taking credit as a group for Mercy, or is it like
Yeah.
two of us? I don't know what two of us it is, or three of us. I don't know that saying that Mercy should really, really be playing.
Well, Fluff, you've been saying it since last year.
Yeah, you've been saying
Okay,
it from
all right.
August.
I
You've been saying it from
kind of
August.
thought
Yeah, hey,
that.
I've been saying
I
that
kind of
too. I've
thought
been
that.
saying that
I'm
too.
a team player. I'm a team
No, no, no,
player.
no.
I didn't know if we was both all getting the cup money or what.
Yeah,
But
I've been saying that too.
okay, all right. I know it's two, one, two, or three of us. Okay, okay. I just want to see tournament time. You have a 19-point game. He's giving me Malik vibes.
No, I went the old head route, saying coach wasn't going to play him because his defense was not up to his standard. But I think this year his
Tonight
offense
he had
his,
defense.
his offense is his defense and his offense are on even keel now, and coach is trusting him more, which is a plus.
Okay.
Yeah, played 20 minutes tonight, got a couple steals, and just really did a good job just staying in front of whoever he was guarding. Which in years past, especially off by times, he'd have breakdowns, and you could see Coach get on him. Who was it today? I think it was Mercy Miller where he fouled a jump shooter, and Kelvin Sampson let him hear it after the timeout. If I'm not
Emmanuel did too.
misremembering. It was yeah.
Both of them did it. Yeah.
So, but he at that timeout, I remember that he was letting Mercy have it.
But look, if we want to be real right now, if we was in a Final Four game, we go Mercy over Isaiah.
Sure. Right now, yeah.
So I think they're trying to do the due diligence of, and I'm doing it a little bit, not a little bit, with my middle school team is trying to do maybe the hype a little bit early to justify what we need to do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
When it's time.
Hmm.
And this is our show, so Coach Sampson does not watch this show on a, if at all, definitely not on a regular basis.
Allegedly.
But we have said we give Coach credit a lot. We also see things differently than Coach at times. But this team, I think he's trusting the offensive potential of this team more
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
the defense coaches. I mean, he's said it differently recently in press conferences. But the defense, percentage wise, it looks good, but it hasn't been up to Cougar standards. And why would it be when you got so many freshmen playing, guys not used to the rotation, not used to being in the right spots, being uncertain to when to switch, all those kind of things. So they have learned to play Cougar defense. These last two games, the opponent is not Big 12 caliber, but seeing them being in the right spots, seeing them talking more, being on a string defensively, those are pluses going forward. And then add that to the offensive potential of this team as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because like our offense can go on droughts, our defense make teams go on droughts, and we get consecutive stops back to back to back to back to back. And I think that's just gonna keep getting better.
Because that was lacking, like in Vegas when we couldn't close out teams. When you're up
Yeah.
11,
Hmm.
when the offense goes in a drought, okay, get stops, keep the other team from
Hmm.
scoring. Then the fans won't really worry about what's wrong with the offense. Well, it doesn't matter if the defense is getting stops. The 11-point lead still stayed the same. Would they give up 10 straight points? Well, then defense gave up 10 straight points. Y'all got to talk about Fluff's tree. Come on now. Somebody ask about Fluff's tree.
As you
I
know, it's
thought
crazy. I was just looking at that.
so was
That
I saw
thing
it.
good.
I saw it.
I went
I
away
saw
from
it
the
on.
Cougs. I wanted you to see the tree. You know what I mean?
I saw it
I
Wednesdays.
wanted to put the
Damn,
tree in
Fluff,
there.
you did a really good job with the tree. That's a very aesthetic, pleasing tree. Like it's eye appealing. It looks
My
nice.
fiance did the tree. Her, my
She
daughter,
killed it.
my sons. They did the tree, but I kind of produced it. You know what I mean? Take this beat off. Bring the bridge there. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah.
it's Capricorn season. I'm a Capricorn, so this is the best time of the year. My birthday is December
Okay.
24th, so
Ooh,
Oh,
it's the
really?
best
Okay.
December.
sign.
All
It's
right.
the best. It's the best sign ever.
December 24th. I remember that then, brother. All right. I'll send you
Hmm.
a message, a birthday message on that day.
Please, love.
That'll be 4 days after the Cougs beat Arkansas. So, yeah.
Man, I'm mad about that because we're going to main hoop session 2 this weekend, and the Cougs play in Jersey. What is that on Saturday?
Right. Yep.
Correct.
So I'm gonna miss it, and I'm right here.
Yep.
I'm mad about that. I'm like
Mhm.
tight about that. I want to do both. I want to try to figure a way to do both. What time we play Saturday?
4:30 Central
4:30
Time, right,
Central.
Chris?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So 5:30 East Coast time.
5:30 our time, my time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
I might can figure that out. I'm gonna be in Pennsylvania. Maybe I drive back. You know what I'm saying? Try to make it.
Just don't do anything dangerous, brother.
Say it again.
Just don't do anything dangerous.
What do you mean?
Break the speed
Like
limit. The weather might be
speed.
No
bad.
fast
Stuff
and
like that.
furious fluff down
Yeah.
the highway.
Nothing like that.
No, never, never. I want to see them Cougs versus them Hogs, though. I want
Hey,
to
let's
see
get
that.
into that matchup a little bit. Like we mentioned earlier, right? They got a big win against Texas Tech. That was on the road too. They went into Lubbock and they beat the Red Raiders there.
No. It was at Dickies.
It was at Dickies.
Yep.
Oh well, think close forward. They were
Yeah.
close
Yeah.
proximity, but still an impressive win to come to Texas and beat Texas Tech in a neutral site game. And that was a game that Texas Tech had 7-point lead going into halftime.
Yep.
Around there. So, what do you have to? What's the matchup? What are going to be the keys for Houston to come away with a good win?
I think that experience is going to get us over the hump. I think that it's going to be a close game, but I think that the freshmen on Arkansas will make a couple of those mistakes that maybe we won't make down the stretch. I got us winning by 5.
Dayon?
For me, I think I'm gonna be watching the point guard matchup. Both freshmen, which freshmen can limit their mistakes, turnover to assist ratio. I think that's going to be key for both freshmen. And I think I don't want to say whoever wins that matchup will win the game, but I think that's going to be important because although we have experience as well as Arkansas does in their backcourt as well, I'm be watching that point guard matchup, who can win that assist to turnover ratio, and just make plays and also score the ball. Two NBA point guards
I'm
on
curious
the
to see how,
floor.
how many players Coach Sampson will utilize.
7.
I think
Saturday.
yeah, I think that'll be more of a rotation. What he's gonna have for
It'll be
conference
Yeah,
tight.
play,
yeah,
like
be
I
tight.
think that'll
Yeah.
be
Six
it'll
and a
basically
half.
be it'll be their last dress rehearsal for a conference play.
Well, against good competition, because if
Yeah,
you have a game on 29th, but that's not going to be the same kind of competition level.
You played you
yeah,
played these 2 games, you played, relax. This one right
Yeah.
here, 7.
Yeah.
And like we talk about, I just want to see who's the 7th one.
Yeah,
That's the key. Do we make the right decision on who's the 7th guy?
well, and
yeah.
they're gonna need a lot of these players to step up too. Like especially, I'm curious, like you said, Fluff, in terms of who's the seventh, right? Tonight, obviously, JoJo Tugler was the big, and Cedric Lott got 17 minutes, which, Chris, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that might be the most minutes that Lott has ever played in a game.
I would think so. Yeah, I would.
So I'd be curious to
Tugler
see
again, 4 rebounds.
it, 4 rebounds. It's going to be very important for him to stay out of foul trouble. Actually, 3 rebounds. He only had 2 defensive
3?
rebounds.
Okay.
Yep.
One I know
One
is one of
offensive
those.
rebound, 2 defensive rebounds in 21 minutes. Yeah, it's going to be
Andy, I
very
want a
important for
question. I
him.
got a question for you. What is he averaging rebound wise on the season?
Let me pull it up real quick.
Might not be
That's a good
6.
question.
About 4 or 5.
I'll pull it up right now. Um, he is averaging 5.2 rebounds per game.
Yeah, about 5.
You know what I'm saying? Like he should be averaging 8 rebounds. Easy.
Agreed.
And CNAC is what? 7?
CNAC leads the team according to coach last week. Hold up, let me Sanak. Yep, 7.7 rebounds. That leads the team.
As a
7.7 to
baby.
8.
So that's, you know what I mean?
hmm
Who's
Mm-hmm.
Kingston's what? 2nd?
Uh, no, Tugler is second. Uzan is third with 3.3, and then Fleming's both Uzan and Fleming's are tied at 3.3, and Sharp is right behind both of them with 3.2. So that's interesting. They don't rebounding wise, there's not a lot of eye popping numbers.
We got to rebound that ball because Arkansas attacks the offensive rebound a lot. They have a wing. I was watching them a week ago. They got on the left side or the right side. That right wing is always crashing the board. And I remember when we played, same coach, when we played Memphis, it's always a weak side wing that attacks the offensive glass when on Cal teams. So we have to be aware of that. We all have to rebound because those second chance points when you get the offensive rebound, then they throw it back out to the guy, they hit the 3. Those are like backbreakers emotionally for players sometimes. Like especially if you have a good segment of good rotation and then we don't get the rebound. That's not good. So we have to focus on the glass. Focusing on telling our players in practice to focus on that glass.
Guards too, not just
Yeah,
the bigs. Yep.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Because I might be the big, I might box, but that long one might be yours.
Right.
Yeah.
I might got a 6'11" guy on me like this. I'm the big. Somebody like, yo, rebounds. Like, okay, I got to kind of hold him for you to get the rebound sometime. So that's where the guards are going to come into play, getting those foul line rebounds too. Those are big.
This might be the first time in a while that, I mean, Miles Uzan and Flemings are both the leading guards when it comes to rebounding. It's only 3.3. In years past, we've seen at least one guard average a little bit more than that. So that's something
Like
that,
six,
like you.
7, 8 rebounds.
I mean, there's been times when there's a guard that's the leading rebound on the team. Thinking back, this was a few years ago, but I think Quentin Jamal got his fair share of rebounds.
Armani
So that's gonna be
did.
something.
Nate
Dejan
Henry.
did. Nate Henry did.
Dejan Jerome led him.
Yep.
Yeah, Nate
Yep.
damn near
I
averaged a
love I
double
love
double every
that
game.
kid. What'd you
Who?
say, Jerome?
Dejan Jerome.
Jerome.
Jerome, yeah. That's one of my favorite young. That's one of my favorite young guys. He was a winner.
Hmm.
Coincidentally from New Orleans too. So shout out Dejan.
You from New Orleans, Andy?
No,
Yep.
Dejan, but they were playing New Orleans today, so
Oh, I got you. I got
coincidence.
you. I got you. I got you.
But yeah,
Uh,
that's probably one of the things that areas of improvement is need the guards to rebound more and get those long rebounds, and maybe one particular guard will be the one that gets the 5 or 6 boards a game, like Cougar teams of old.
what do you think about this question? It was asked by C Anthony on YouTube, I should say. How do y'all feel about Calipari and how far he can take Arkansas this year?
I mean, they had a good year last year in his first year. And so, I mean, I see them duplicating that success and getting to the tournament and having an extended run. Well, you Sweet
It depends
16,
on the
Elite 8,
matchup.
maybe
Yeah,
further.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and this might sound a little different than what somebody would say, but I don't think Cal's in the national championships. I think if he wins them, fine. I think his lane is promoting that I could get your kid after
To
one
the
year to the
pros.
NBA. If we could win it with us doing that, fine. If not, so what? You know what I mean? Like I don't think that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? You think that that's the vibe with Coach Cal?
I mean, I can see that. I think, of course, competitive nature in him, he probably want to win, but I think he is selling, like getting used to the pros, whether it's one and done or, yeah, really one and done.
Because Tom Izzo has how
Or
many
maybe now the
championships?
selling.
Nobody talks about this, but how many does Tom Izzo have? One.
He just got one. Yep.
So you know what I mean? If you're a parent and you got a kid, like I'm going with Cal. You're probably gonna go with Cal over Tom if that's your goal, one and done. And I think he's living on that to last in the industry right now.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, he left Kentucky because at the time, NIL money wasn't there for him to his liking, and his last year at Kentucky just wasn't up to his standards or the fan standards at all. And how ironic that the start
Yeah,
for this
this
year's
year
Kentucky team is not
and
up to the
not up to the
standards
standards.
of the Kentucky fans either.
He
But
won that battle too. I want to say that.
yeah,
He won
Yeah,
that
he
this
did.
little friction right here. This little like, oh, we don't care if you leave. Oh, I left. Oh, we
Hmm.
don't care if you leave. Cal won that.
No question. I agree.
No question.
all right, brothers, let's wrap it up because I got some stuff some news to share with y'all off air.
Okay.
Once again, we'd like to take the moment to thank everyone that took the time out of their Saturday afternoon here on this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, presented by the Saxenian Family. Big thank you to Steve Saxenian and, of course, to our secondary sponsor in Star Pizza with multiple locations throughout the Houston area. Star Pizza is your go-to stop before or after the game, especially after a big win like the Houston Cougars had tonight. Big shout out to Mike and Jennifer Pittman for feeding us Star Pizza. Big shout out to you, Chris, for coordinating it. We gotta put the sponsor plug here. We're gonna Star Pizza, multiple locations. Check them out. Tell them you heard about them on Let's Rage Coogs and enjoy some good pizza. And if you go on Tuesdays or Fridays, you can have an all-you-can-eat pizza buffet, which includes desserts, which Chris and I can attest are really good. Once again, the final score from inside of the Fertitta Center, the Cougars come out with a 99-57 victory over New Orleans. We had a tied for four different players that were the leading scorers in Kingston Fleming, Sanak, Chase McCarty, and Mercy Miller. All four of them had 15 points each, and they were all really efficient, each and every single one of them. So shout out to Cougar. It was really a strength in numbers performance tonight. Every player that got on the court today scored, with the exception of one, which was Jacob McFarland, who got in there towards the tail end. Came close though. He had a little lefty hook shot, just couldn't convert. So again, great performance by the Houston Cougars, the 7th-ranked Houston Cougars, and they'll be off for a week when it comes to games. They'll be back next Saturday, like we said, 4:30 p.m. Central Time, taking on Arkansas from New Jersey. So that's going to be a big time game, kind of the last real big test that they have before they get into conference play.
And Jacob, he kind of rushed the shot, but as the game wound down, he was exhausted. His conditioning is not up to.
Played almost 4 minutes tonight.
Yeah, and he was worn out. So, and that's to be expected. Yeah, I mean, he had no lift on the shot either. He was tired. So he's got to get his conditioning up to what it was before pre-injuries. Been out 2.5 years, so that'll come as well. But Khalifa Sacco's injury's not threatening season-ending, anything of that sort. They won't rush him back, though, as Fluff going to test. John Houston will make sure Khalifa is right and not rush back with the injury. If he misses next Saturday's game, so what? The objective is to be ready for a conference play and to be healthy for the rest of the season. Fluff, close us out, man. Tell us about Elm City Elite.
Okay. Hey, want to let you guys know that we will be going to Session 2 May Hoops event, playing against all the top teams in the country. Check us out on our page, Elm City Elite or Rob McKiver. Shouts to the Cougs. We are 10-1 now. Just going a beautiful journey. But let's Rage Coogs. Let's keep it going. Go Cougs. Bleed red. H-Town coming down. Do you like that one?
I can dig that.
And I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Round Ball Review. Thank you to Andy, Fluff, and Dayon, the coaches of the foursome, for a great show again. And thank you to everybody for joining us in this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, the original post-game show for Houston Athletics. And as always, since 1994, the Houston Round Ball Review. Local name, global perspective.
I'm looking forward to the matchup, coaching matchup, man. I think it's gonna be big because not only now we battling for 5 stars, so this is gonna be big for recruiting. I think just future bragging rights, toughness, and I expect Goat Sampson to come through like he always do. And H-Town, we're going down. New Jersey, we're going to the East Coast to do the most. We're coming back with a dub. You heard? Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.